You ever been through a drive-through? It can be whichever one of your choice. And you ever get some fresh buns from that
Do you
drive-through?
ever get fresh buns?
Yeah, fresh, hot buns.
I have before, I guess. Weirdly enough, I've actually like hyped up the McDonald's near Marshall University Stadium. I
Oh,
feel like of all the McDonald's that I've ever eaten at, so for some reason their hamburgers are like the best out of all the McDonald's. I don't know why. It's like actually like seasoned or like salted. I don't
how's
know.
how's the
Usually they don't have
buns?
very much flavor, but this McDonald's it treats its customers right.
I was just curious about your experience with buns and if you've ever really had that. But it seems like you like to focus on the patty when it comes to the anatomy of the burger.
I mean, the patty is definitely, if not more than this, 80% of the quality of whatever you're eating.
All right, so I'm a
You know,
bun man and you're a patty man. Fair enough.
I'm just saying, one's gonna keep you alive, and the other one's just gonna go straight to your thoughts.
I'm allergic to your bullshit, Alec.
Welcome back, guys. Today we got an episode on psychic mediums, and I just want to say, it's good to be back here on another episode of Time Traveling Bigfoot.
Welcome on back to the podcast, everyone.
Jack's been replaced by Cletus, the auto mechanic from down the
My
street.
name is Cletus. Jackson got the malaria diabetes combo one too, and I'm here to sit in. Today we are going over, as Alec said, psychic mediums. I learned something today, Alec. There's apparently a difference between psychics and mediums. I thought one was
That
just like a
is
racial slang to define the other.
Well, my understanding, I guess we'll go into detail, but yeah, I saw that too.
So I guess that's a good place to start.
Yes.
Psychics, mediums, what's the difference? This episode is basically breaking down those with supernatural gifts, human beings. You may have ran into these people. I know you've heard of these people because they are quite famous on the televisions. Everyone knows that psychics, they read your palms, they do this and that. Like I said, it might not be mainstream knowledge that there are differences between psychics and mediums. Now, what is that difference?
Yeah. Well, psychics are essentially beings that have control over, I guess, supernatural. I wouldn't say supernatural per se, but abilities that go beyond you and I, like normal human beings. They have abilities to, for example, make things levitate. They have the ability to psychokinesis, move things with their minds. They have different abilities like that. Whereas a medium, at least my understanding, is someone who has a gift to where they can basically contact the dead. They can channel spirits through them. They have contact with the supernatural. Is that what your understanding is, or do you have any further details?
Yeah, so I'm pretty similar with you on the mediums, psychics. I honestly, no offense to psychics out there, I didn't waste my time with you. Because mediums just seem cooler than psychics. Okay, so I learned, first of all, everyone can be a psychic. You and I could be a psychic out. Apparently, these are
Really?
people that. So this is a nice, easy way to look at it. Psychics perceive, whereas mediums receive. Now that's some fortune
Okay.
cookie bullshit if I've ever heard it right there. I'll break that down. So, as I said, you and I could be psychic. Anyone listening could be a psychic. You just have to train those skills and harness them. Everyone's born with the potential to be a psychic. And there's like very specific stuff. And psychics are like the kind of people that like they can give you readings, they can sense your energy, they can see auras, they perceive, they see stuff that you and I, they're more in tune with the extra layers of our world that we don't see. You and I are blind as bats. Okay? So that's psychics. That's okay. That's cool. Mediums, however, they are born with a much more direct line into the other world.
And I feel like mediums are always portrayed in movies as being somewhat tortured souls. because they don't really have much of an option.
You can't turn it
They're
off.
kind of just they can't turn it off.
Yeah, so this is another quick thing to think of it as it. Not all psychics are mediums, but all mediums are psychic. So mediums come with all the perks of being a psychic. Like they get that whole package deal, but they also can talk to the other side. They have a much more stronger connection to that. That's why whenever you're talking to someone, going over talking to your grandmother or whatever who's passed, that's a medium. Psychics don't do that. Psychics will maybe give you an evaluation of your life and what energies are good and bad or whatever and all that shit. But mediums, that's where the meat is, and that's where I focused my research and stuff on, because that's just more interesting. I don't, auras are cool. I'm not going to take
crystals,
that away.
You're talking about we're gonna break down crystals and their healing effects.
Yeah, we're getting into the old witches that we talked about there, but mediums, that's some spooky shit, talking to the dead. So that's a big difference right there.
In my research, I kind of focused on a certain individual who was very, very famous in the 1800s by the name of Daniel Holmes. So I kind of went more historical, but that's a nice blend.
That's where the cool shit is in the history, I think. Like I said, the modern day stuff is I find it somewhat...
modern day, you can sell it so much. And I'm not to give away about my homeboy here, but he never accepted payment for any of the things he ever did.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd like to go in, like you said, a quick briefing of their powers. Like if I were to collect their baseball card, what would I see of a medium? The stats. I want to know how many home runs they have, their cholesterol levels. I want to know the whole thing. And we're gonna tell you. So clearly the mediums, I think the big one is talking to the dead. Again, my research is limited here. I'm not a medium myself, but a lot of times they'll say they have a spirit guide, or they are simply a vessel to be talked through from the other side. They're not really talking or anything. They're just the link between the two worlds. That's all they are. They're just kind of an observer of it all. They're it kind of takes a little bit of their power away, but they're more of a passive force in the whole relationship between the dead and the living, whatever. So they talk to the dead, they'll hold seances, stuff like that. They can also, I read that they have future sight, where they can see your past, things going on in your present, and potential avenues, branches of your future. And clairvoyance. And what clairvoyance is the whole I see dead people thing. You know what I'm saying? That's the stuff where you're just walking down the street and some dude, missing his half his face walks by you. And, that's just another day in the office if you're a medium. Because he died. Or it could be living. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. Could happen.
Yes, you're really fugly.
Yeah. I don't know. So that's their kind of baseball card to me. That's the big stuff.
What power, if you had to pick one psychic power, whether it be, psychokinesis, I think it's called psychokinetic, or, any sort of power like that, what would you want to be? Would you be able to see the future? Would you want to be able to talk to the dead? Would you want to be able to control things with your mind? What would it be? What power would you like to have?
I'd like to talk to the dead, but that might be limiting just because, the dead I might be able to talk to them, but they might not talk back. But future sight would be dope too, but that'd be kind of depressing, You don't want to know everything. I don't think I'd want to be a medium, man. It's a curse.
No, it is. I think they do a good job of portraying that in media. It would be kind of sucky.
Teleportation.
You're not really get to control it. A lot of times they can't even really control what's going on. They're kind of just go with the flow, and they have all these different things happen to them.
And I wanted to talk about our experience speaking to the dead. So it was a night a lot like this one. And it was around Halloween. And we went to it was in West Liberty. We went to...
Oh, then I definitely wasn't there.
Yeah, that makes sense now that you say that. Okay, so the main story, everyone, is I danced with the devil and played with a Ouija board, which
Gasp.
yeah, I was always, you ever mess with one?
No, I've actually always been weird enough. I don't really believe in any of this stuff. However, there's just something about Ouija boards that freak me out.
Ah, little bitch. I see.
Yeah.
No, maybe you're right too, because all I can say is I've never been able to urinate the same after this whole ordeal that I'm about to tell you. So, I will say I had an experience with a Ouija board, and I don't know, man. You'll hear all kinds of stuff about Ouija boards. The spooky narrative is this, that they are a portal. They are a door that can be opened, and if used improperly, that door will stay open and it'll let in a draft, and you'll just, your heating bill will go up.
Mm-hmm.
And that, of course, is a metaphor for you'll let the ghosts in. You'll let the demons. I'm not even saying ghost, man. I'm saying it can let in demons. This is the spooky one. You know, a lot of people fuck with this, myself included, just like a kid messing around, having fun around Halloween. And you can open up a door to like some bad shit. Because, you know, there's supposedly steps. You have to welcome the spirit and let it in. And then you have to say goodbye. And you have to be respectful. All this shit. Never burn a Ouija board, because that will leave the tear to our world open and into your life. So that's a spooky one.
Did you guys light a bunch of candles? Was it weird?
No. I'll get to that. But, and I'm just going to say the non-spooky version of a Ouija board is you can buy that shit at Toys R Us. But that's closed now. Coincidence?
Yeah.
I think not. I think the demons dropped their stock significantly and closed their doors. So anyway, yeah, we had a Ouija board. I don't know whose it was. It was someone's. They probably got it from Toys R Us. But, you know, you get a little glass thing and you put it over, and then the ghost or spirit spells it out. And this was actually at Bethany College in West Virginia, which is a very old college. Obviously, every college has the rumors that it's haunted. But, you know,
it has been described as Hogwarts-like, hasn't it?
Yeah, I'm the one who says that because it's fucking dope. It's old, and it's like very architectural, like very old-timey looking. And I think it's been around for at least 100 years, maybe more. And anyway, people have died in it. I mean, I'm not surprised by that. I don't question that, but it's all supposed to be haunted. So we did the Ouija board, and we asked it questions and shit. And yeah, we turned off the lights. Maybe a candle or two is lit to kind of get the sexual tension up between everyone. Yeah. But and it moved. The thing definitely moved, and I didn't move it. I've said it before with ghosts and shit. I do not fake stuff. If I go with it and I try to rationally break it down, and if I can, I'm like, okay, that shit fake, and if not, I'm like, shit's real. Okay.
Then who did move it? Who was all there with you? Who moved it?
that is what it's the thing. And I will tell you though, and maybe it's just because it's an awkward thing. You have to hold the two fingers on the glass, and it's very strange. It's very supernatural when it moves and you're not moving it. And it moved with such confidence and such intention. It was very weird. It felt like something was like it was like forcing me with it. It was very aggressive. Uh-huh. So that was jarring, but it's like you said, you do it with people every time. And it takes one asshole to fucking fake it. And I've been told that Jessie was there, our good friend Jessica Walters, shout out to you, I guess. I was told she did it. Okay?
Oh, man.
That's what I was told. And I was like, okay, fuck her. But then we did it again later in the laundry rooms, which was really sketchy. It was weird down there. And she wasn't there, and it happened again. So I don't know if everyone in the world's just an asshole or if there's ghosts. I don't know.
What did it say? What was the message?
Honestly, I can't even really
remember.
remember.
More Ovaltine?
Yeah, we asked like who it was, and it said it was like D's nuts. Maybe that was a red flag. No, it didn't say that, but it said like it said it was like a child that died of cancer or something, and I was just like, oh god.
Pulling out the heartstrings here.
I said, I free you, Jimmy. I free you from these walls.
If you're a demon, if you were a demon, wouldn't you say that you were a kid that died of cancer?
Yeah.
So you guys probably came back possessed, which is really scary because I live with Jack in a dorm for a whole year. So he
So
probably
it's got
passed
you
it on to
too.
me.
It's got you as well.
Probably why I have this cough right now.
It planted its eggs
So.
in you, and now you're an incubator. Anyway, that's my experience with the Ouija board, guys. Obviously, I haven't been fucking haunted. I'd let everyone know if I was. A part of me wishes I was. So trust me, I would see this shit if it was happening. You know, the theme here is that the Ouija boards, talking to the dead, that's what mediums do essentially, but to a greater degree. I should do it again. I need to do more Ouija board stuff. With, like, people I trust. Like, no one's fucking around.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely go as a full skeptic, so I wouldn't fuck around with it.
No, I wouldn't either, because I'm a skeptic too. I'm like, what is this? This plastic was made by child labor in Vietnam, and now it's in Toys R Us, and I bought it for $10.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Exactly. I mean, I could buy it like possibly working if you bought it from like some sort of like old antique shop and it had like dust covered on it, you know?
Yeah, like I need an elderly woman to sell me this product.
It had like Latin inscribed in the back. Yeah, I'd be a little bit freaked if that was the case. But not
I'm
from
sure
Toys
you
R Us.
can buy those. Dude, that'd be dope.
Yeah.
We should go to eBay and find like a cursed Ouija board and then use that. We are begging to get like possessed at that point.
Yeah, I've never done it either. I've never messed around with a Ouija board. I'd be open to the idea. However, stuff like that has always messed with me. What was that? Like,
You're
was it
just
Bloody
not-
Mary? Was it what? Who was the person that you're supposed to like stand in the bathroom in the dark and like say her name like and then 3 times and she's supposed to appear?
Bloody Mary sounds good enough for me. That sounds appropriate.
Anyways, I was so terrified of that. I never did it.
Oh my god.
Like, I'd still be a little bit creeped out doing that today. I don't know why. It's just terrifying to me. Honestly, I think it all traces back to me watching the movie The Ring when I was in 3rd grade.
Dude, The Ring is spooky.
I never recovered from that. I don't think I ever recovered. Like, I literally, like, 15% of me thought in 7 days after I watched that movie that I was going to actually die.
Bro, that video in The Ring was legitimately terrifying.
Terrifying. It was a good horror movie. It was legitimately a good horror movie. But
I digress.
yeah,
You said your guy's a little old school or something, right? So I think this is a nice segue into that. Basically, mediums and spirituality were popularized in the 19th century in the United States and the United Kingdom. So maybe that can bring us into your boy Alec way back when. The pioneers.
Well, I didn't say that, but take us back to, or I'm going to take you guys back into the 1800s. 1833, to be exact, is the year that, I'm pretty sure that's the year that my boy Daniel Holmes, either Daniel Holmes or Daniel Holmes, I'm pretty sure it's Holmes. Daniel Holmes, he was born. I think he was born in Scotland, but his parents and him and he immigrated over to America, into Connecticut, I believe, and in the 1830s when he was young. And ever since he was like little, he kind of showed his family that he had like supernatural, or like he was very connected to the afterlife. At a young age, he like described like the death of his cousin, like that he never even knew, to his mom. He described like how he died and like what he went through and stuff like that. And like he should not have known this, according to
Do you know?
text and
He's
what
just
they
a
had.
kid.
Well, he's just a kid. Yeah, he should not have known. I mean, this is back when people died and you found out like months later through letters, because obviously they didn't have phones, so they just pick up and call people.
It's like a living obituary.
So, yes. So he showed off these like, I guess, supernatural gifts from a young age, and which is ironic because his family was very, very religious, and so he kind of scared them a little bit. They thought that his gifts, if they were true, were kind of demonic in some way, satanic maybe. But they didn't really, truly believe that he had these gifts. They were kind of weary about it. But
nah, that's
but throughout his
stupid.
life,
Like, come on. Like, if people started doing weird shit, people love to ignore like the truth, right? Like,
it's true, yeah.
that annoys me. Like, put that kid in a circus and have him telling everyone about their cousins' deaths, and let's make some money off this shit.
Daniel kept getting older, and when he was 18, he basically started becoming known as the guy in like the city that actually had the powers to like to talk to the dead, and people were kind of afraid of him to some degree. Like he was freaking out his neighbors and even his mom. Actually, he lived. Yeah, I actually wasn't. Actually, now that I think about it, taking all the way back, this is a small part of it, but he actually wasn't his mom and dad. His mom and dad they either died or something, but he lived with his aunt and uncle, but they were pretty much his parents. But his aunt, the one he lived with, she actually kicked him out at 18 because, one, she was really religious, and also, two, he was like becoming known as like this
Devil
guy
child.
that had these like devil child, yeah. And she didn't want him to invite these spirits or these bad omens into her like world, so she had to kick him out. He basically started getting really popular, like making like friends with like very famous and powerful people. Like they truly believed that he had these abilities. Like he was known as the levitating man because apparently whenever he would put on these like performances, I mean, I guess there really weren't performances, and people believed they were true. They would come in and he performed seances. He was really popular for seances. And apparently like half the time when these seances were conducted, like the table would like rise off the ground and like people would like try to force it down and they couldn't. And he just became like honestly a celebrity.
Yeah.
And
Well,
he like, because he got sick, he got sick with tuberculosis and thought he might die. But his doctors told him to go over to Europe. Maybe the change of air would help him. So he went to Europe for a while, and he became even more popular. He is like one of the biggest celebrities in the world during like the 1850s. He was like hanging out with like Russian Tsars and like Napoleon Bonaparte, and like he was just hanging out with a bunch of like really powerful world figures. Because they all wanted him to like basically perform these like supernatural processes to like, you know,
everyone
talk to their dead, to loved ones. They wanted him to make tables float, and he never once accepted payment for any of the services he provided. Yeah, so that's the most fascinating part. Is like that to me. That's what makes it the most credible. Is the fact that he really wasn't he was not in it for the money. Maybe he was in it for the fame. However, for a while he even retired from doing it just to become a doctor. He wanted to become a doctor. There was multiple newspaper articles like trying to disprove him and all this sort of thing. And a lot of times they would come and watch his performance and then, you know, recount their statements and say that they were like believers afterwards. There are like some actual credible instances of people coming out and saying they did have like proof that he was like fraudulent in some of the things he did. But he is still to this day presented as one of the mediums with the most credibility, and a lot of mediums today use him as like look at this guy. No one ever proved that he was like full on a fraud, so he's kind of like the champion of the medium world.
I hear you.
It's like psychic world.
And I'm fully part of like the realm of thought that it's like, listen, mediums, maybe as anything else that's weird and incredible in this world that's almost would be impossible for us to comprehend and understand, maybe the majority of that is bullshit. But maybe there's some truth to some of it, but maybe there's like one rock star born once every fucking 300 years, maybe even more rare than that could actually achieve some sort of level of this. And like I said, like maybe it's like a fucking mutation in the brain that like lets you
it could be
tap into this other world, and I don't know. I'd be down. I'd accept that. But yeah, it's you can't lie. Like where's our fucking Daniel? What's his nuts today? I'm not seeing I'm not seeing anyone levitate my table. So maybe it's rare. And then I think I'm like, shit. Why was everything so crazy back in the day when we did when there's no way to document it besides like,
No, I know.
it's like, that's suspicious because obviously today in this world, it's harder to get away with shit because obviously the science is better. Our way of thinking is different. We don't really accept that kind of stuff anymore as being possible.
And also, I feel like in today's world, we would force these said people to perform their acts under our set conditions.
Yeah, we'd put some sensors. We'd strap some sensors to his genitals and like tell him to do it. What we'd figure it out.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's interesting. And certainly he was doing these performances for people, lots of people, skeptics included. And these skeptics came out and said, well, I believe him now when I saw it. So I think there's something.
He did a lot of good for the world too. Like he never took advantage. Like he never took any money. He never really did any harm.
A lot of mediums are sometimes used for actual criminal cases and hypothetically talking to the dead and finding solving their crimes. And maybe this was more of a practice in the early 2000s. I don't know if there's any modern day police forces that do it. And like I said, there's not a cop that's there's not a medium. There's a fucking canine unit on every whatever. But there are legitimate cases of mediums being used as a resource in criminal investigations. So I don't know. And sometimes that yields results and sometimes it doesn't. And it's that right there that spawned numerous. There's a big television show in 2005 called Medium. I'm sure some people have heard of it, where that was based off of a real person.
Of it. I may have seen an episode or two, but
yeah, it's based off of a real person who helped solve crimes. The fraudulent world of mediums and seances, and I believe mediumship is the industry term.
I hadn't seen that word, but I like that.
Yeah, so fraudulent. Now, medium, you're obviously talking to the dead. It's a very it's a big deal to the one sitting there, the observer, the people paying for that service. I want to talk to my husband that died. That's a heavy deal, and you're in grief. Sometimes it's very fresh. Obviously, that person's probably close to you, whatever. You're very vulnerable, and there are a lot of mediums to this day, as well as back then, easily back then. There's a lot of fraud back in the day, too, when it all started, that they take advantage of your grief to take your money. Because obviously, Alex's example was free, but a lot of times they are profiting heavily on this. This is their fucking day job. This is what they do. So I thought it'd be interesting to go over kind of what that is, because it's interesting what they do. And this is a fucking a well-documented science, exactly what they do. It's like a branch of psychology, essentially. So obviously in today's world, a big, just easy part of it, obviously you would think that this is a huge part. So I actually looked up, I'm considering going to a medium here in Charlotte just to experience it for the sake of this podcast. And you literally, you schedule and you give your information. Your name, an email, all that shit. And right there, dude, they've got a key into your world, and they could Google you. And this term is called hot reading you. They're looking up information on you. They can easily tell who's died from you. They can easily tell where you are in life if you just graduated college. Oh, I'm sensing a big transition in your life right now. Oh, well, I just graduated and moved to Charlotte. Yes, that's exactly it. So that's easy peasy fucking shit right there. That could easily get you. And like I said, you're vulnerable right now. You want to talk to that dead person. So you're looking for a reason to let them back into your life because you miss them and you want them. So, they're basically fishing for information there. Now that's the one form, hot reading.
There's bastards.
Yeah. And as I say, it's very unethical. Because you're taking their money. And there's cases where people have given their entire savings to mediums to further the connection, to further the conversation, whatever it is. So that's hot reading. Now that's easy. You and I can fucking do that. I just light a couple candles, raise the sexual tension, and you've got yourself a medium's business. Now, harder to do, to accomplish, but can be done is what's called cold readings. So that's basically if you were to pull someone off the street that you've never met before and offer to give them a reading right then and there and talk to a dead person. You don't know anything about them. Cold readings are where you basically ask questions and statements to get information out of them. And it's kind of almost subconscious. They do it in such a tricky, very slick manner that you don't even realize what the fuck they're doing. So for instance, a very popular one they'll do. They'll say that they'll do very vague questions. So if you were my person that I grabbed off the street, I would ask you like, oh, I'm sensing a death, a sort of father figure in your life. And right there, father figure. So I'm not distinctly saying it was your dad. I'm not saying it was your grandpa. I'm not saying it was your uncle. I'm not saying it was your good friend that died. I'm saying there was a father figure. So that just opens up a whole door to like 100 fucking people in your life that it could be. And then on top of that, sometimes they'll say things like, I'm a death and I'm experiencing pain in the chest or head region, some sort of illness. And of course, like heart disease is like one of the number one like rates of death in America. So you know what I'm saying? Uh-huh. It's just it's a gambling game. It's a statistics game.
And if one answer doesn't produce the results they want, they probably have ways to deter it back to a different way of
They
trying to get back in course.
They use specific terminology such as I might be ballparking here, or I might be piggybacking, or sometimes a lot of times they'll do this in big areas too. Like if you watch all these popular ones, they've had mediums on the Ellen Show. They've had them on like these big talk shows where they'll do readings on the whole audience. And they'll basically be like, I'm feeling something here. Has anyone in the house had this? And like, there's a room of 200 people. Yeah. And like I said, it's not specific stuff. It's not like, oh, I'm feeling someone died in a bicycle accident. They drowned in
and someone had in the crowd.
Yeah, someone died in a Shark Tank. Oh, that was me. Yeah. No, they're not doing that. That's
I died in the Shark Tank.
They're dying very vague shit. And so obviously like at least half the audience is going to respond to this. And if no one does, they'll like, if they're talking to a specific person in the audience, if they get something wrong, they say, oh, I must be getting that from someone else. So, and I'm not doing a good way of selling that. They do it in a much more like, they talk really fucking fast, so you can't really like.
Well, they're seasoned pros.
Exactly. This is what they do. They're professional like con artists. I'm not coming after
all something like that.
Say that again.
How do you even get into something like that? Is there medium school?
You just look it up. You learn the trade from people. You know, it's documented what they do because people have studied it themselves, and they're like, no, this is bullshit, guys. This is what they're doing, and anyone can do it. And there's a bit of a rush to it. And who knows, maybe you might fucking lie to yourself and believe that you really are finding this information out. Another interesting thing they'll do, just as the last one I'll say, there's a fucking book to this. Okay? But this is like one of their top tactics. Mm-hmm. I'm getting a J sound from a J name. Is there any J names in your life that may have had this? Or a G name such as Jerry or Jill, Jack, something like that. And it's like they're looking for the name James is what they're looking for. Because James, John is not the most popular name in America. It's James. And it's like, It's literally like, I saw this really cool YouTube video. A guy broke it down in an audience of like 100 people. And it's like, statistically, it's like, if you're playing like conservative numbers, like it's like 25% of the audience is going to know a James that's like connected to them. And so it's like, and it's James for guys and Mary for girls. Those are the names that they'll say. And it's crazy. This YouTube video I watched, they compile the whole, like all these little clips of different mediums, and they all go, James, John, Jack, I'm getting something like this, Mary. And like all of them do that because they're looking for that specific name that everyone knows someone, a James, apparently. Or at least statistically, everyone knows that. And they're going to get, it's a safe bet that they do that. It's statistics, and they're just asked certain questions that they know they'll get answers to. And then they base your body language, whether you're confused or no, that doesn't really apply to me. And then they'll pivot into another question, and you start fucking crying that they know they struck gold, and they're going to keep hammering at this specific point. And it's really fascinating, and it's not easy to do. That's why when it is accomplished well, it feels supernatural. It feels paranormal. when someone who's really good at this is doing it to you and pulling this information out of you, you feel like that they're knowing things that no one else could know. But in reality, they are pulling very basic, vague information out of you, and you're telling them the story, not the other way around.
Wow. It sounds a lot like hypnosis.
Yeah, that's part of it. Scientists study this stuff, and a lot of them will say that it's a form of hypnotism and suggestion. That's part of it.
Yeah, I can believe it. It definitely sounds up the alley.
And again, you have to imagine someone's fucking like grieving right now, and that's just a whole nother layer of like you're not even going to be thinking straight. So yeah, it's crazy. However, it's like when you talk about Daniel, who never took a payment, he of course could have been getting paid in the the pros of being a high status figure, because he was getting a lot of status from it.
He could have easily just been chasing the fame more than anything.
Right. That could have been his form of payment. But the fact that he didn't take money is pretty huge, I think. Because, all these fucking...
Yeah, he lived a very modest lifestyle.
All these guys that I'm talking about who are con artists, they're fucking charging everyone. You better believe that.
Okay. I will say, he did accept a payment one time, and this is very, very weird. This is very, very weird.
Ruined.
A woman said, please, this is when he was like in his early 20s, okay, mind you. Please let me adopt you. So that you can, and so he did and everything like that. And she like gave him money while he was there, like under her like care, but basically she just wanted to use him as for her seances.
Yeah, my next rent payment, I'm going to just ask him if I can just adopt them. And that'll be my form of payment.
Yeah, because he like needed somewhere to live, and so he like did it, and eventually he had like enough of her, and so he like left, and she sued him, and she got all the money back. So in a way, he still didn't make any money off of it.
So Alec, we're pretty much at the end, but real quick, I've always gotten some mysterious vibes from you, dude. I'm not gonna lie. Like every time I'm around you, I've gotten like the hair stands up on the back of my neck. I just feel like something's up with you. So I wanted you to take a psychic test, and I wanted to know. Okay. I want to know if you're a fucking psychic. I want to know if you have the gifts, because I'm just saying something's wrong with you. I don't know if it's this.
Just send them my way, dude. I'm ready.
Okay. So this is cited by www.psychictest.org, and Google Chrome tells me that
sounds
it is
very legitimate.
Yeah, Google Chrome is telling me that it's not secure. So I'm going to do this fast. Okay. Are you good at telling when people are lying? And at home, everyone, you can take this too. Answer with us.
Am I good at telling people lying? I like to believe that I am, as long as I'm good at telling people are lying if I've known them long enough.
That's spooky, dude. I'm not gonna lie. This is looking weird.
Check it off the list, guys. I'm already one step closer to being considered a psychic. All right.
Maybe not. Maybe psychics are really bad at telling when people are lying. Maybe that's how this works. Do you ever feel drained or tired around certain people?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Your mother-in-law?
Yeah.
Have you ever thought of someone and they gave you a call soon after? No one really calls anyone anymore, so I don't know. But go on. Yeah. But that would be even more spooky if they do.
Text. I'll say through text more than call. Does that count?
I wish I could give a half answer here, but I'm going to give it a yes.
Yeah, I'll say yes.
Why Damn, not? So you just like think about someone and they fucking like send nudes.
Yeah.
Like even unwanted nudes. Like you get dick pics all the time.
Yeah.
That is a curse.
Definitely.
Thoughts and prayers, everyone. Send them to Alec and your dick pics. Do you communicate well with animals, and do they respond well to you?
I'm like Dr. Doolittle up in here, dude.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah. Animals, man. Like, animals love me. I'm like, I walk out into nature, there's like bluebirds landing on my shoulders and shit. It's crazy.
I'm honestly shocked that this is the first time, like, you've been thinking about this, because that's weird. Like, you've never thought, like, hey, that's weird, I might be a fucking psychic?
No, it really... Okay, it has occurred to me when the bluebirds land on my shoulders and I start to levitate. I've questioned that part, but no, not the actual bluebirds.
Are you drawn to the unexplained and paranormal? I mean, we made a fucking podcast.
Obviously, this podcast.
Okay. Do you ever have a feeling that there is another presence helping you?
I don't know. It's not really yes or no, but
I'm going to say no. Because, I mean,
yeah, I mean,
you got to know.
I'm pretty like feeling like where I am because of myself. So I'd say no as well.
God didn't help you with any of it?
He's dragging me down, dude.
Oh, shit. When meeting a new person for the first time, have you ever felt that you'd met them before?
No, not really.
You know that plants and animals have consciousness.
Plants, no. Animals, maybe a little bit.
That's a no. Do you believe in love at first sight?
No.
Have you ever had a premonition or a dream that came true?
Yes.
What was it?
One time, this is stupid. One time I had like a dream. This is like when I was very little. I had a dream that I won the like young author competition in like first grade, and I won.
Young authors.
I read about like
that's not easy.
I read about the Olympics. I was really going for the award. You know, I didn't want to write about the Olympics. I just did it because I knew I could.
Yeah, you went for the.
I was very Oscar baity.
Yeah. Synchronicities?
Oh, I see synchronicities, dude, everywhere.
Okay.
When I go to the bathroom, synchronicities.
I don't even know what this word is. This is next level. Okay. Do uncanny coincidences play a role in your life?
Big old no.
Coincidences. Okay. Have you ever had an ecstatic or out-of-body experience?
Not really. I knocked myself unconscious one time.
You know, I have this sometimes. Like, straight up, for real. Like, not like...
You're like Norman Bates over here?
Not fucking astral projection, but I will literally, like, get in funks where it's, like, tunnel vision. And, like, I don't even hear shit. I haven't had it in a while, but it's so bizarre.
Dude, that sounds up straight like Norman Bates, man.
I don't even know
like
what the fuck that is.
Yeah, he like blacks out.
Yeah, that's kind of me. It's like I'm there, but it's like I'm up behind me like an observer. It's really weird. I think it's just like I haven't drank enough water or something. But have you ever seen?
Get that checked out, dude.
Hey, we were talking about this earlier. Have you ever seen or experienced an aura? So for the uninitiated, an aura is like an energy. It's a visual representation of a person's mood or energy, and it's normally associated with a color, and it's like on their person. It's like glowing. I've never seen that shit.
I've never seen it, but you can kind of you can sometimes like feel.
That's true.
Like,
it's not purely visual.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
No, I'm still saying no.
Have you ever been alone and heard someone talking to you or call your name? Tell the truth.
No.
No judgment here.
Can't say that I have.
Alec. If you close your eyes... Brownies. If you close your eyes, is it easy for you to imagine, visualize, or see images? Well, I should hope so.
Yeah.
Have you ever been checking someone out of the opposite sex? I don't know where this question is going. And they turned around knowing what you were doing and gave you a glare. So have you ever been caught being a perv? I guess. Tell the truth.
I mean,
tell the truth.
Like, there's not a single moment that I can like actually recall, but
True.
Who hasn't been like caught staring at like someone?
Get wrecked. Okay. Oh, we need a gender here.
Gender? What do you mean?
I'm putting
my
female.
gender?
Yeah. What do you like? What do you perceive yourself as? What's your gender role?
I identify as a Apache attack helicopter.
I get that's on the female side of the spectrum.
Okay, that's fair.
All right, see my results. Your telepathic communication, you are a 15 out of 20. Not bad. Yo, your clairvoyance is a 10 out of 10. So that's like you see shit.
That's pretty impressive, actually.
Dude, look around. Look behind you right now.
Now that you say something, I don't know.
Is the ghost of Christmas Past like chilling in your room right now? Look. Like, look hard.
I don't see him, but that doesn't mean he's not here.
Spiritual awareness is a 5 out of 25. You really need to work on that. And precognitive ability is a 5 out of 10. That's a failing grade. Your clairvoyance is nice though, dude.
So I have a lot. So what you're saying is I have a lot of potential. I just haven't like capitalized on it.
You
yet.
need to hit the gym more. So there you go, guys. A look inside the world of mediums and psychics, brought to you by a halfway there medium and psychic, Alec McIntosh.
And Kellogg's.
This tastes like ass.
Once again, guys, thanks for coming back for another episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys, gotten more in touch with your spiritual sides. And who knows, maybe someday you'll take on the career of being a medium and be fraudulent and take a bunch of people's money. I hope success. I hope you guys all have success in whatever you guys choose to do. And as always, thanks for stopping by. And we love you.
We love you. Lots of love. I am blasting my good vibes and love out into the atmosphere in the world. And please return the favor by liking and sharing the podcast on your respective podcast service, whether that be iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play Music. Follow us on social media, guys. Just look us up on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And subscribe on YouTube, obviously, and check out the video with some visuals.
Peace.